Hi Nadia, so it looks like this is your last essay. Very excited to see them both. Let's get right into this, okay? So these maps show the changes of an area on a small peninsula as a result of its development into a holiday resort. Alright, hold on a second. It doesn't look like a peninsula, it looks like an island, so that's the first bit of inaccuracy. There's nothing that leads us to believe it's an island, especially when it says sea, and so forth. Doesn't show that it's attached to something else, okay? So let's try it again. These maps show the changes of an area on a small island as a result of its development into a holiday resort, and then it's fine. As shown on the first map, the land plot is located on an island surrounded by the sea. There is a beach. Let's see. You know, you raise a very interesting point. It says sea, and we assume there's sea here, and we assume, you know what, it's always just been given that it's an island, so, I understand what you're saying. You're like, well, there's nothing about sea here, so perhaps there's something attached to it. Interesting point you make, actually. I have to think about it. There might be something to that. Okay, but for the time being, let's just assume it's an island. You know what, it probably would appear on the task. It would say, you know, find the before and after for an island, so that would be clear. Alright, as shown on the first map, the land plot is located on an island surrounded by the sea. There is a beach on its western part, and woods cover most of its territory. Not really, not most of the territory. I mean, there's woods in the northwest, the northeast, and the south of the central portion as well. I wouldn't say throughout and everywhere, or that it covers most of it, okay? Let's see. Okay. According to the second map, most of the trees will be cut in order to construct accommodation facilities and administrative buildings. By contrast, the forest area will be kept intact in the southeastern part of the territory, and a lake will be dug in its eastern part. Alright, let me double check this. Okay, again, it doesn't tell us if this is planned, or if this is, it would help if we had the actual description, like describe an island or whatever before and after. I always assumed that they're both past, so this was what it was like before and this was what it was like after, and that's pretty much how most people deal with it. You're taking the after as if it's planned or if it's proposed. We just don't have enough information. I'm going to assume that it's before construction and after construction, both times being in the past. Okay. Therefore, why is this important? Because it'll just change the tense. So instead it should say, according to the second map, most of the trees were cut down in order to construct accommodation facilities and administrative buildings. By contrast, the forest area was kept intact in the southeastern part of the territory, and a lake was dug in its eastern part. Again, see, you're talking about it as future. The after image features 6 and 8 accommodation houses. Not really. You can't really say it features 6 and 8 accommodation. That just doesn't make sense. So you could have said 2 areas of accommodation, or 2 housing areas. That would have been even better. Okay. So the after project features 2 accommodation areas, comma, 1 in the eastern and 1 in the western part of the territory, respectively. And then you could have said, in the west there will be X number of buildings, and in the east there will be X. So there will be 3 multi-storied buildings for administrative and other purposes in the center of the area. All construction will be linked by footpaths as well as by a vehicle path that also runs down to the pier. Situated on the south coast of the peninsula, island in this case, the pier will provide sailing activities. To summarize, the new developed area will be a spacious resort able to provide accommodation as well as different kinds of beach and sea activities, or sea and beach activities. Okay, I don't remember if I mentioned the pier. That's pretty important. Let me see. Yep, you did. Excellent. So essentially, Nadia, you mentioned all the key information. You did. No, you did it all. It was fine. My biggest issue was with a couple of these things about how you interpreted it. Like, you interpret it as a peninsula, whereas I'm fairly sure there are instructions that say it's an island. And also, I think that it's assumed that they're both in the past. So it's before it was constructed, and then it was after all of this development. Okay? So that just means you have to be really careful with your tenses. All right, let's take a look at this green energy essay. Some experts throughout both the developing and developed world question the ability of green energy to be secure, yet others argue that renewable energy sources are more cost-effective and have less impact on the environment here. I strongly support the second opinion. This essay will discuss both sides using examples from Greenpeace statistics and recent research from the International Energy Agency. Fine. The issue of energy security has always been a topic of hot discussion since the introduction of such renewable sources as renewable sources such as solar, wind, and water power. Evidently, they all have a serious issue with the ability to provide uninterrupted energy in the short and long-term perspective. On the other hand, these types of energy resources are not yet capable to meet the energy demands of huge production sites or I can never say this word, megapolises. Why don't you just say metropolises? But okay. On the other hand, they are too dependent on weather or climate conditions. Why is this sentence so long? Look, it starts here, and then it ends here, so it's really long. Let's try it again. So on the one hand, these types of energy resources are not yet capable to meet the energy demands of huge production sites, or I would say metropolises. Stop. On the other hand, they are too dependent on weather or climate conditions. Rainy weather can simply put an end to the energy produced by solar power panels. For example, empirical research from the International Energy Agency ranks solar and wind power as the least secure type of energy. Therefore, it can be stated beyond doubt that using naturally replenished resources is still extremely risky from the point of view of energy security. All right, that's lovely. I like that. On the other hand, there's ample evidence that energy coming from wind, sun, water, and other natural resources is much cheaper. This is largely because there is no need to use expensive equipment to produce, store, and deliver it, as happens in the case of fossil fuels. Moreover, according to the latest report from Greenpeace, there has been a technological breakthrough in the way the solar panels are manufactured, which makes them much more affordable for an average consumer. At the same time, green energy, unlike oil or gas energy, has no byproducts and does not ruin the geological structure of the earth as in the case with oil wells. How about as with oil wells? That would be perfect. Thus becoming the first choice of every environmentally conscious person. Thus, it is conclusively clear that solar, wind, and water power cut the costs and have practically no impact on the environment, Okay, don't forget that. From the arguments given, I firmly believe that green energy is beneficial both economically and environmentally. Lovely, lovely, lovely. It was good. You can see that it really flowed. It didn't halter too much. It was nice. There were just a couple of things I had to correct, but on the whole, I really liked it, Nadia. So you're at a very good point. I'm really happy with your progress. You're doing very well. I don't know when your exam is. It's my understanding that this is your last essay with us. So I want to wish you the best of luck. Do keep us posted. Keep us updated on your test and your results, obviously. So looking forward to hearing from you. If you want to take any more essays and get any more essay corrections before your exam, do let us know. We can set something like that up for you. Okay? Best of luck to you. Looking forward to hearing more from you soon.